time has come for everyone to clean up their own backyard. Clean up their own backyard.
Tonight, the committee investigating the January 6 attacks is going public. Now, I'm not really sure what we're going to be expecting. Maybe just the reading of testimonies, the releasing of documents, all of which that should implicate Donald Trump and his cohorts in the Republican Party and the right-wing media. The fact is that when this goes on, the Republican Party is going to be done. They will be finally exposed for the cohorts of what happened on January 6, 2021, when Donald Trump and his Republican friends, including senators and congressmen and members of the right-wing media, i.e. Fox News, pushed an attack on the U.S. Capitol that day in the vain hopes of overturning a free and fair election that ended with Joe Biden winning the presidency and Donald Trump losing it. And hopefully we'll hear the text messages. Now, I've already posted a few of them before in a couple of videos ago about Republican congressmen and senators and members of the media like Lauren Ingraham, who urged Donald Trump's Chief of Staff Mark Meadows to get Trump to stop what was happening on January 6th, and Trump let the riot go on for over 2.5 hours. I hope we'll hear the fact that during those 2.5 hours, lives were lost. In the days afterwards, more lives were lost. Hopefully we'll hear everything we're supposed to, and hopefully it'll end with the Republican Party exposed as being the ones trying to destroy our democracy. Because that is what's on the line now. The saving of our democracy. But here are three possibilities, unfortunately, that may happen. And I say unfortunately because the first possibility is nothing will happen. Donald Trump will probably likely get away with this. The Republican Party themselves might get away with this. And they will get away with it, and our democracy will be shattered beyond possible repair. Donald Trump will try to run again in 2024 after a partisan Senate and Congress tried to protect his bid to become the next president of the United States. So that is the first possibility that just might happen after the first night, because there's still several nights of unveiling of evidence, of facts that we may be getting from this. Donald Trump will get away with it again. His Republican friends will get away with it again, and that'll be over. The second most possibility is that this will damage Donald Trump's chances of ever regaining office, but no one in the Republican Party or the right-wing media, i.e. Fox News, ONN, Newsmax, will not see any kind of punishment for pushing what happened on January 6th. And the people who are arrested on January 6th will continue to rot. As Mary Jean Taylor Greene once said, quote-unquote, political prisoners, when they're nothing more than a bunch of thugs. The same kind of thugs that Donald Trump and a lot of his Republican cohorts want to condemn African Americans in this country after the 2020 riots. The third likely possibility is the fact that this will damage Donald Trump's re-election situation so hard that he'll have no choice but to withdraw himself from the 2024 ballot. That a lot of the Republican Party will be damaged, including the usual suspects, Mary Jean Taylor Greene, Josh Hawley, so forth. That they may have no choice but to say, we did it, we're sorry, but the apologies will be gone and over. In all three possibilities, the Republican Party will be seen as the people who let January 6th happen who did, or at the very least, tried to do things to stop January 6th from happening, but failed miserably. And the common thread of all of this is that Donald Trump pushed an insurrectionist attack on our country. Right now, we've gotten news that the Proud Boys, the Poor Boys, whatever they call themselves, the self-appointed militia that Donald Trump told to stand back and stand by, they're going to trial for seditious treason. And trust me, if they can find one way of saving themselves a whole lot of pain in prison, they will sell out Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Hell, I would. I'm not going to prison for someone like Trump. Maybe they would. Maybe they're just that idiotic enough or stupid enough or brainwashed enough to think that Donald Trump will save them. But he won't. In the end of the day, Donald Trump is never going to be president of the United States again. And to a greater extent, no one in the Republican Party will be ever trusted with this country again, regardless of the fact that they get reelected or not. You are seeing what they're doing with the gun issue, saying that making stupid, smart-ass jokes after the mass shootings that have happened all over the country ever since the Buffalo shooting, and only the last few weeks, joking that they didn't ban airplanes after the 9/11 attack. The fact is this: the Republican Party, after the next few days, after the unveiling of all the evidence gathered by the January 6th committee, the Republican Party will never be trusted ever again, regardless of if they get elected or not. Because every time they make a speech, they make a policy, we're going to ask ourselves, at least we hope we are, in the back of our minds, are you doing this for our country, or are you doing this for yourself? Or are you doing this for Donald Trump? Because we already seen over the last 2 years, if not the entirety of the Donald Trump regime, where their loyalties lie. And it's not with the red, white, and blue. It's not with the King James Bible. And it's certainly not with the U.S. Constitution. And it's certainly not for the people. It is for Donald Trump only. Well, Donald Trump is going to fall after the next few days. It's over, and it's coming. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.